saving your progress with a 960 grid file, tips, and a few tricks. Though I have a very strong computer, Photoshop still crashes from time to time. Most of the issues happen when updating drivers, for example, for my video card. In an ideal world, your computer would be rock solid, but as we know, that's not the case. So we need to adapt, and that means we need to save often. Here's what I recommend. First, have your 960 grid file on your desktop since you'll use it nonstop. Then have a folder named Photoshop Projects on your hard drive, and create a shortcut to that folder on your desktop so you can easily access it. As you start up a new project, open up the 960 grid file, add any element to it, and then immediately go to the File menu and press Save As. That's not save, there's a big difference. If you use save, you'll overwrite your 960 grid file, and the next time you want to use it, you can't, since it will have all the layers you made for another project. So after you made a couple of items on your canvas, be sure to use Save As and save your progress in the Photoshop Projects folder on your hard drive. After you do that, constantly hit Ctrl-S every few minutes, even though CS6 has an autosave function every 5 minutes. Next, you'll realize as the projects stack up in your folder, you might want to reuse elements from the past. A very fast and efficient way to preview your PSDs is to add an image to your project folders. Rename it as 1.jpg and have ACDC installed. ACDC is a very popular image viewer, and it has a free version. Then, when you want to preview your projects, just open up 1.jpg and use your arrows to browse through. This is dead simple, doesn't require a lot of resources, and it's very fast. Another thing I recommend is you create another folder inside Photoshop Projects named Resources, or, something like that. Here you should stockpile all sorts of stock photos, icon sets, textures, and so forth when you need something. You could just look through this folder instead of browsing on the web. One last thing I would recommend as you progress in your web design is to invest in a cloud storage system. I use Google Drive, for example. What this does is it uploads your files to the internet and keeps them safe in case your hard drive dies, for example. It's also nice if you're working on different computers. Imagine if I were to lose 500 PSDs and tens of gigabytes of resources I've collected over the years. What would be the financial loss of that? Awesome. So I pay $10 every month for this service, and I strongly recommend it as you go along.